Hey guys, I'm Austin Plays, but you can just call me Austin, and today I'm starting a brand new series. In this series, we are going to be discussing video game related topics as well as video game news. Let's jump right into it. Sonic Adventure 2 is a game loved by many people, and it was a big part of a lot of people's childhoods. Let's dive a bit deeper into what makes this game loved by so many.
Yeah!
First up, we'll be looking at the story. Sonic Adventure 2 has a story that some may recall as compelling and emotional. It has 3 different stories, those of which include the hero, dark, and last stories. The last story doesn't unlock until after both the hero and dark stories have been completed. I'll warn you guys that there will be spoilers for Sonic Adventure 2 throughout this whole video, so if you want to avoid spoilers, I suggest you click off the video now. The hero story begins with Sonic, who is captured by the military, and we see that he escapes out of the helicopter that he was being held captive in, and he falls right into one of the most loved Sonic Adventure 2 stages, if not the most loved Sonic stage of all time. The soundtrack for City Escape is one of the best, and it is catchy enough to make people want to sing along. After beating City Escape, Sonic encounters a fan-favorite character who we know as Shadow. Shadow seems mysterious and evil at the time, but Shadow's story is much more than that as we learn later in the game. After Sonic's first encounter with Shadow, he gets captured by the military and locked in a prison cell on a remote island known as Prison Island. This island is where a lot of other stages take place. Amy Rose shows up on the island along with Tails, and Amy frees Sonic, and the next stage takes place. This stage is called Metal Harbor, and while not as popular as City Escape, most people don't have an issue with the stage. Sonic escapes the island before it blows up, and he, Tails, and Knuckles learn of Eggman's secret base in the desert that they have to infiltrate. They infiltrate the base and they take a rocket up into space so they can get aboard the Ark, which is where a cannon known as the Eclipse Cannon will fire. If Sonic and friends don't destroy this cannon, the planet will not survive. Once aboard the Ark, Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles all work together to stop the Eclipse Cannon from firing, and eventually they succeed. The hero story plays out events from the hero side of things, and the dark story plays out if the enemies of Sonic were to succeed. The last story is where things start to get emotional, however it's also where things get exciting. The last story starts with a cast which includes Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Shadow, Rouge, and Eggman all gathered together inside the Ark after the cannon wasn't able to fire. The Ark itself is heading towards the Earth at a rapid pace, and if it were to collide with the Earth, it would be game over for the planet. Eggman's grandfather, Gerald Robotnik, comes onto a hologram inside the Ark, and he reveals the story of how Shadow was created, and he also reveals that his granddaughter, Maria, was killed by the gun soldiers that were on the Ark, and the cast realizes that they have to stop the Ark from hitting the Earth. The final stage, which is called Cannon's Core, is one big stage that is made of 5 mini-levels that everybody in the cast has to complete. The only one who isn't included here is Shadow. After Cannon's Core has ended, Shadow discovers the heart of the Ark. But the one thing in its way is the prototype ultimate life form known as the Bio-Lizard. Shadow fights the Bio-Lizard in a tough boss fight, and after the Bio-Lizard has been beat, the Bio-Lizard fuses with the space colony Ark and starts sending the colony down to the Earth even faster. And around that time, Sonic shows up, and they realize that the only way to beat the Bio-Lizard now was to use the Chaos Emeralds, and together they transform into their respective super forms. They team up to take down the Final Hazard, which is what the Bio-Lizard has become. Sonic and Shadow take down the Final Hazard together, but Shadow doesn't have enough energy to get back to the Ark as it was Shadow's first time in his super form, and he didn't know how to control the form properly. It seems like Shadow dies right in that moment, but it is later retconned in the next game, Shadow the Hedgehog. That's one of the multiple reasons as to why Sonic Adventure 2 is heavily loved by the fans, but let's take a brief look at the level design now.
Sonic!
There are a lot of stages that people love, such as City Escape and Metal Harbor, but there are also a few stages that are mutually hated amongst the fan base for their terrible design and flawed features. Some of these stages include Mad Space, Final Chase, Egg Quarters, as well as most of the Tails and Eggman stages, as well as Route 280 and Route 101. The stages that are loved for a few reasons. First is the soundtrack of the stage, as well as how iconic the stage is and how fun the stage is to play. Sonic Adventure 2 also has high replayability as it has multiple different missions for each of the levels, as well as some hidden secrets in some of the stages, such as Big the Cat being hidden in most of the levels. If you get every A rank on all of the stages, you unlock a secret stage which many are familiar with, which we know as Green Hill. Now, on to one of the bigger reasons why this game is so loved, the Chow Garden. If the normal game didn't have enough replayability, then let me introduce you, my friend, to the Chow Garden. Think of the Chow Garden as having a virtual baby that is really annoying sometimes, but when you put in the effort to raise them, they get a lot less annoying and a lot more cool. The Chow have a lot of different evolutions that you can choose from when raising your Chow, and there's a Chow evolution for all different types of people. There's also different colored Chow too that will change the color of the Chow when it evolves. There are also Chow races and Chow karate. Playing the Chow Garden is a requirement if you want to obtain all 180 emblems. There's so much more you can do with Chow, but that's mostly it. The final reason why I think Sonic Adventure 2 is so loved is the modding community.
What?
Sonic Adventure 2 has a large community and an even larger modding community. Modding the game is super easy and there are so many different mods you can choose from which change things from characters to Chow to levels, as well as a bunch of other unique mods that you can enable. There's a mod for practically everyone out there. If you have a PC, Steam, and Sonic Adventure 2, I highly suggest that you explore the unique mods that are out there. There's bound to be something out there that you enjoy. So in short, there are a lot of reasons as to why Sonic Adventure 2 is loved, and some can even say it is a masterpiece of a game. There's so much stuff to do in the game, and it has very high replayability, making it a title that many can come back to time and time again. This was a great first episode of this series, and if you liked the video, feel free to subscribe or like the video, and if you have any ideas for the next episode of this series, then feel free to leave a comment. Have an amazing day or night wherever you are, and I'll see you in the next one.